It's intensely personal. It's getting more personal. They're going to discover more information that's going to make them angry. They're out to salvage their reputation. So there's not going to be an easy way to walk away from this and say, okay, let's just call it a day.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have been caught in a major scandal as their legal troubles unravel, revealing fake witnesses, bribery attempts, and shady legal tactics. Nothing is hidden anymore. Everything has come to light.
Juries don't like liars. Trials are about credibility.
Judge Lyman saw right through their Hollywood manipulation, and now their entire case is crumbling faster than Blake's credibility. She's left scrambling as the truth comes crashing down.
She wants different rules for her than she wants for Baldoni and his team, which I don't think the judge will agree.
Blake Lively really thought she could waltz into court, toss around some fancy legal jargon, shed a few fake tears, and walk out victorious. Yeah, no. That plan backfired so badly she might as well retire and open a bakery because her career is burnt to a crisp. Judge Lyman, who clearly has the patience of a saint for enduring this circus, finally had enough and called out her lawsuit for what it truly is: a PR stunt gone horribly wrong.
So her testimony is super important in this case, and if you can show the jury that she's lied, juries don't like liars.
Not a real case, not a serious legal battle. Just a full-blown media stunt designed to manipulate public perception. But guess what? The only person getting manipulated here is Blake herself, because this whole scheme has blown up in her face like an overinflated balloon.
Actually, what I said last time is, of the 92-8 split, which is 92% of cases settled and 8 don't, this does meet criteria of being within that 8%, because it's intensely personal.
But wait, it gets even better. Just when you thought this case couldn't get any more absurd, a leaked audio recording from an Aram manual surfaced. And let me tell you, it's the kind of smoking gun lawyers dream about. This isn't just some random piece of evidence. It's Hollywood's dirty little secret being blasted at full volume for the world to hear.
And, so I think there could be some argument about whether it was leaked and shouldn't have been leaked, and should they have the information or what it may be. But no matter what happens, this is a damning quote.
Emanuel, one of the most powerful agents in the industry, basically admitted that Justin Baldoni was blacklisted from projects, not because he was guilty of anything, but simply because of his friendships with the wrong people. And by wrong people, we mean Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, the same power couple who thought they could run Hollywood like their own personal playground.
This dispute, these words that were said by Lively's side, had a clear, immediate negative impact on Baldoni's.
Let's break this down for a second. WME, Baldoni's former agency, completely cut ties with him after Lively threw her allegations into the public domain, not because there was any actual proof against him, but because Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively had the right connections to pull some strings behind the scenes. It wasn't about justice, it was about power and influence.
But what I think we're seeing now with this quote is WME absolutely got rid of him because of these things that were said. And so now he's got a clear line to get damage support.
And now, thanks to this leaked audio, it's no longer just speculation. It's a fact. Judge Lyman now has solid evidence that Blake's side was manipulating the industry to destroy Baldoni's career. You know what that means? Her entire case is built on lies. The judge sees it, the lawyers see it, and at this point, even her own PR team probably sees it and is searching for the nearest exit.
I think this is inching towards that percentage of lawsuits that don't settle. We could very well see a trial in this case.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any shadier, the Freakonomics podcast episode containing the Emanuel audio mysteriously disappeared. Now, I don't know about you, but when the one episode that could expose Hollywood corruption suddenly vanishes into thin air, it raises a few questions like, how much power do these people really have?
If you have somebody who has a significant amount of power in the industry and has the ability to tell stars not to go on your podcast in the future, and has general ability to make life uncomfortable for you and ask for a favor, you're more inclined to do it, right?
If they can make an entire podcast episode disappear, what else have they been covering up? But here's the thing. This time, they failed. The audio is out, the damage is done, and Baldoni now has a clear legal pathway to damages. This isn't just a PR problem for Lively anymore. This is a full-blown defamation lawsuit waiting to bury her.
So yes, does he have the power to do it? Yes. And I think a lot of people who are even a lot less powerful than Ari Emanuel would have the power to do that, so that doesn't surprise me.
But let's talk about the real talent Blake Lively has displayed throughout this entire ordeal. Her Oscar-worthy performance in lying and manipulating the legal system. Seriously, if the Academy handed out awards for Best Actress in a fake lawsuit, she'd be sweeping every category. This woman has rewritten her own story more times than a high school student scrambling to fake a last-minute essay.
Just from a PR standpoint, if they both struck an agreement and walked away, that would be the smartest. Because it was never going to get any better from Lively after when she filed that California Civil Rights Division pre-complaint.
Her original complaint was already ridiculous, but then, like magic, she suddenly remembered new details and needed 180 pages to explain them. Let's put this into perspective. Most lawsuits of this type are around 20 to 25 pages long. But, no, Blake decided to turn hers into a Lord of the Rings novel, clearly banking on the idea that if she piled in enough nonsense, no one would bother to read it closely.
Okay, so I was able to read the amended complaint, which, by the way, it's very abnormal. It's almost 180 pages, 400 and some odd paragraphs. Complaints are not normally that long, but this one has to be for public consumption.
But people did read it, and guess what? It's one of the most blatantly PR-driven lawsuits in Hollywood history. Legal analysts tore it apart almost immediately, pointing out that most of it isn't even about legal claims. It's just media. Manipulation disguised as a legal document. Let's be real. If you need 180 pages to convince people that something happened, chances are nothing actually happened.
So it kind of makes them look like they're trying to take that video, now that it's out, and kind of spin it in a different direction.
And oh, let's not forget her most humiliating screw-up yet. Blake swore up and down that she had a video of a horrifying, disturbing scene that supposedly proved Baldoni was guilty of something. She hyped it up like it was the ultimate smoking gun that would end his career. But then the full video leaked, and guess what it showed? Her smiling, participating, and looking completely comfortable. Talk about a plot twist.
And that's why you think, like you mentioned before, that you think this video is the most damning evidence that Baldoni has so far.
I think so. And it's better than...
Let me say that again for the people in the back, the main piece of evidence. She built her entire case around turned out to be the complete opposite of what she claimed. She flat out lied, and when she got caught, did she own up to it? Nope. She just changed her story again. It's like watching a never-ending plot twist where the only consistent thing is her desperation to save face.
It seems insurmountable. It seems like this case cannot be settled.
Suddenly, her new excuse was that Baldoni wasn't in character and that she was being forced to act like she liked him. Hello? You're an actress. That's literally your job. Nice try, Blake, but that excuse is about as believable as the rest of your lawsuit.
What they did is they said, well, yes, all of that happened, but when Baldoni was in that scene dancing, he wasn't in character, and she was being forced to act as though she loved him, which is, in my mind, just act.
What's next? Is Leonardo DiCaprio going to sue because he had to pretend to be in love with someone in Titanic? The sheer stupidity of this argument is mind-blowing. She went from, "This scene traumatized me," to, "Oh wait, I was just forced to act." Well, Blake, you definitely weren't forced to act well, that's for sure.
Blake Lively had changed some stuff up in her amended complaint. Now she is describing that dancing scene very differently than she did in her first complaint.
But here's where things get really interesting. Legal experts have pointed out that if even a single lie is found in her testimony, the jury can throw out her entire statement. And guess what? She's been caught lying multiple times. That means when this finally goes to trial, her credibility is already dead on arrival. She thought she could play the victim card, rewrite history, and manipulate public perception. But instead, she just torched her own case.
Her testimony won't even count. And that is that's a harsh reality, because if the jury chooses not to listen to anything she has to say, she's the best witness in.
And instead of realizing that her lawsuit is nothing but a sinking ship, what does she do? She doubles down. Every time she gets exposed, she comes up with another ridiculous excuse, making her entire case look even more pathetic than before. It's like watching someone dig a hole, realize they're stuck, and instead of stopping, just keep digging faster.
I think this is like one of those cases that has enough of the bad feelings on both sides that it could potentially show up in the trial.
At this point, even Hollywood, the place that lets celebrities get away with literally everything, is looking at this lawsuit and saying, yeah, this is embarrassing. Blake Lively could have just walked away quietly. But no, she had to. Take it this far. Now she's in too deep with nowhere to run, and the whole mess is blowing up right in her face.